Welcome to Module 11. And in Module 11, we are going to talk about how you can measure success with ChatGPT. Now, here's the cool part. You might know or not know, it's up to you, but you may or may not know the key performance indicators or metrics that you should be measuring in your business. So you can actually use ChatGPT to identify the most critical things you should be monitoring. And from there, you can ask it for help to create dashboards and to summarize and analyze your performance data. One thing I find a lot of small businesses, they don't have time, they think they're too busy. But the reality is, if you're not measuring whether you're succeeding or not, how do you know what you should be working on? So I'll show you how to develop some KPI prompts. I'll give you some how to build a metrics cheat sheet, and I will show you how to summarize your business performance. So this shouldn't surprise you by now. I've pasted in the slide deck and I've pasted in the starter prompts from the quick start guide and the starter prompt guide. And of course, as you can see, ChatGPT gives us a very generic answer first. And so this hopefully does not surprise anyone by now. I ask it what categories of experts and what are the three world-class individual experts. Now, if you're using the free version, you're probably going to have to break this up into two steps. I'm using the paid, so I can get away with using it. And you'll see it's giving me the categories and the individual experts. Now, one thing, I've got some diehard experts that I use for everything. I have my favorite artificial intelligence experts. I have my favorite automation process. And I definitely have my favorite gamification. So those are categories that I tend to use for everything. And then again, as you may be used to, based on our expert categories and individual experts, what are some world-class best practices to guide us forward? And so it gives us a bunch of best practices, which is wonderful. And you can read these in detail through the document. And the last thing I'm asking it for is to actually create the content that I promised you in the slide. So you can see this is actually pretty powerful because we can expand on things. We can create generic templates. We can create custom templates. And as always, I'm asking it to create me an SOP for creating KPIs. I could create an SOP for creating dashboards. I could create an SOP for summarizing and an SOP for analyzing. So that's the power of AI. It accomplishes the kind of things that you may not have been able to do on your own. And the magic of this is you get it done quickly, then you can optimize it. So again, you are the grown up. Never take the first response you get as the final, but these are generic by nature. And here it's going to show us how to create customization, visualization. So it's got some pretty detailed, and I think this is the most useful. What are the 5 KPIs for measuring the success of an e-commerce business? Replace e-commerce with whatever your business is. And it says metrics for customer retention, sales growth, and marketing ROI. Now, the cool thing is in this conversation, I've already asked about the categories of experts, the individual experts, the best practices. So it will keep that in mind. If I ask that question, it will bring in those best practices. And here's a metrics cheat sheet. And beautiful, here's a SOP for creating KPIs. And basically what I would do is to customize this, say, okay, thank you, ChatGPT. Regarding the SOP for creating KPIs, here's a little background on my business. What questions must I answer in order to complete this? And then here we have an exercise. Basically, it summarizes the business performance. So once you've got your KPIs, you can paste them in, you can upload them in, you can say, okay, here's our trajectory, here's our metrics over time. Please help me understand. Or the other thing I like is if your goal is to improve something, create a 90-day action plan to help me optimize this or to reach my goal. So this is just the starting point. Once you customize it to your business, then you can get all kinds of magical, wonderful results. And I've showed you before, you can just upload it and say, okay, what questions must I answer in order to customize this for my business? And again, I'm using really bad prompts just in the interest of speed. The better you prompt, the better your outcomes. But here, these are some goals. And by the way, if you're looking at doing a business plan, if you're doing any reporting to banks, you should know the answers to these questions anyways. And over time, you'll know the answers and you'll be able to improve the answers. So this is module 11. And really, it's a high-level overview. I promise we'll be doing more detail. I just want to get you started, and then I'll be answering specific questions in the regular calls and in the portal.